Well, hello and welcome to the Holistic Research Academy. I'm Dr. Jay Piamonte, and in this video, we're talking about shoulder strengthening, addressing all the muscles, and more importantly, giving you a holistic, natural tune-up. Let's begin. So first, let's begin with a little background of the anatomy of your shoulder. You see, the shoulder joint is actually made up of four separate joints: your sternoclavicular, your acromioclavicular, your glenohumeral joint, and your scapulothoracic joint. So all four of these joints have to move together. And if there's any fixations or anything dislocated or out of place in the joints or the muscles around these four joints of the shoulder girdle, it's not going to function properly. So now let's take a look at the muscles that move your shoulder and address all of these through a simple series of exercises. So in the front of your shoulder, it's mostly your pectoralis major coming across over to the deltoid muscle with your biceps brachii and your triceps brachii in the back. Now, in the back of the body is mostly going to be the trapezius muscle with also your lats, and of course, deep down are the four muscles of your rotator cuff. So now that you understand a little bit more about the anatomy of your shoulder, let's take a look at the movements it does. You see, your glenohumeral joint has the most range of motion than any other joint in the body, hence why it's the most susceptible to dislocation and injury. So if you consider the three physical body planes and look at the shoulder, in the sagittal plane, we can do flexion and extension or forward and backward movements. In the frontal plane, we can do abduction or adduction, side to side movements. And in the horizontal plane is where we do rotational, like internal rotation and external rotation of the shoulder. Now, it's good to assess all the different ranges of motion before determining what areas you need to focus on for strengthening and balancing. Now, when we're talking about balance for the shoulder and the upper body, think about the upper cross pattern. You see, most patients that I see and a lot of individuals tend to have the same kind of patterns with pain in the front of their shoulders or perhaps in the mid back. And this, in a lot of ways, is because of our posture. So when you think about the upper cross pattern or upper cross syndrome, what tends to happen is the shoulders and the head round forward. And at the base of our skull, these suboccipital muscles tend to get shortened and locked up tight. The same with the front of our shoulders, like pec minor. And if you look at the other side, what tends to happen is the overextension of the front of the neck, as well as between the shoulder blades, the muscles called your rhomboids. So before you begin, you want to make sure you're doing simple postural correction exercises because you want to have good form and a strong, stable shoulder. For example, sitting up nice and tall, slightly tucking your chin, and gently rounding your shoulders back and down away from your ears. So you can feel the mid-back muscles engage. You feel the spine and the neck feel nice and tall as if you're gently being pulled up through the center of your head. And most importantly, as you draw the shoulders back and slightly down, you want to imagine as if you're holding a coin in your armpit and you're going to pinch that coin. This engages the major shoulder stabilizer, your serratus anterior muscle. So now I'm going to take you through a simple series of exercises that is going to work every part of your shoulder in all three body planes, what we call a holistic approach to shoulder strengthening. But before we begin, it's important that you'll note that the sequencing balances opposite muscle groups. It's a term called reciprocal inhibition. Reciprocal inhibition means that any muscle is inhibited and relaxes when the opposite, called the antagonistic muscle, contracts. Simply meaning, whenever you contract your biceps, your brain also tells your triceps to relax and lengthen. Hence, we want to alternate and balance exercises. So if we're doing a pulling motion, we typically want to follow with a pushing motion so that each exercise we do, the following sequence helps to relax and inhibit the muscles that you just trained. So try out reciprocal inhibition and let's get started. Here we go. The sequence I'm going to demonstrate today begins by holding a simple plank position. Now here we want to get good form. So imagine you're drawing your shoulders away from your ears and down as if you were pinching a coin in your armpits to engage your serratus anterior muscles. Now begin by holding a plank position for 10 seconds, then maybe up to 30 seconds, or up to 1 minute or even longer. Once this feels good and stable, you can slowly lower yourself down, bringing your shoulders in line with your elbows and gradually pushing back up. Now, the basic push-up can be done in a variety of ways, but in this video, I'm going to recommend good form by keeping your palms right under your shoulders and only lowering to the level of your elbows and slowly back up. Eventually, you can bring your body all the way down to the ground and up, but gradually progressing as you build strength and resistance is very important in properly training the body to prevent injury. Next, we're going to go into pull-ups. Now, when doing pull-ups, I like to use a simple home bar that has a variety of grips, and the different grip positions will focus on different muscles in your shoulders. Which one is the best? Well, I recommend use all of them because that's the holistic way. So doing 1 to 3 pull-ups, trying the different grips and the different hand positions. And again, you can gradually bring your chin above the bar and just hold and slowly lower back down to build concentric and eccentric muscle strengthening. If you're just looking to rehab or build the shoulder, I recommend just doing a dead hang. Start off for 10 seconds and then gradually build to 30 seconds or even a few minutes if you can. Now, the way that I recommend to do dead hangs is first, you want to draw the elbows and the shoulders down towards the body so you feel like you're sucking your humerus into the part of your scapula. And then gradually relax and feel the traction and the stretching inside the shoulder joint in a completely relaxed shoulder. And you can simply alternate by engaging the shoulder, relaxing the shoulder. Good. Now you can even hold a simple dead hang and do a few knee lifts if you're trying to work on lower abdominal and core strength. Now from pull-ups, we're going to go into dips. Again, by alternating the motion, this allows for reciprocal inhibition in order to relax the muscles we just worked. So I use simple parallettes at home, but in the dip position, I'm going to show you 2 variations. First is start in a seated position and simply pressing up, holding your legs out straight. This is referred to as an L-sit position. If you're a beginner, just start by holding this for 10 seconds, gradually working up to 30 seconds or even longer. This will also help to work your core and the abdominal muscles. The second variation of dips is to bend your knees and tuck your knees underneath your shoulders. So you simply start by just extending your arms and lifting your knees off the ground, holding for several seconds. Now, once you feel comfortable here, you can simply reach your legs forward and extend out into an L-sit position. And then it's simply moving back and forth. You can hold, alternate your legs, or simply do dips where you extend the arms and relax back down to the ground. Now for each exercise you do, focus on good form and keep your reps low at first. Once you begin to master the form, then increase your reps and listen to your body working towards your edge and try to go just a little bit farther if possible. The fourth exercise we're going to focus on is in the frontal plane, where we're focusing on bringing the arms out to the side and then gradually bringing them back towards the midline. So you can first begin doing simple flies. Now, this can be done by holding weights, dumbbells, or you can even use resistance bands. Typically, you just need to come out about 45 degrees from the body and then back to the midline. The opposite motion here is going to be doing a simple bench press or with free weights, bringing them towards your midline in the opposite direction, focusing on adduction. If you bring them across the front of the body, this is referred to as horizontal adduction or commonly known as the bench press. For the last exercise to holistically approach the shoulder, we're going to work in the horizontal body plane, holding a simple weight, doing internal and external rotation. These are important, especially when doing any rehab for the shoulder and gradually building the rotator cuff muscle. So you can first begin with a simple resistance band and gradually increase in working the weight. Always listen to your body, go as far as you feel, and see if you can do just a little bit more if possible, but always preventing injury. Well, thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully your shoulders feel totally and holistically tuned up. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what are some of your favorite shoulder strengthening exercises. And you can check out the website at hcare.org for more information on holistic natural care. Thank you very much. May the health be with you.